A quick moment. Y'all can hear me now? All right, that is not the microphone that I want to use because I think that's just picking up the whole room. So I'm going to switch to the other microphone that I want to use, and hopefully that works. And I'm also not hearing myself, which is also distressing. Um, so here we go. That's technology. Hello? Hello. Okay, this is saying it's saying the headset mic is now picking it up. Okay, did the sound quality change? Did it get better? Excellent, good. Now I'm on the right microphone. Hi, thank you for being here. Um, Still figuring this out a little bit, obviously, technical difficulties, so thank you for your patience. Um, so thank you for joining me for the very first indie gaming and grub with BardyPanda. Um, what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about food and then go into a game. I'm thinking of this as a food and gaming pairing, and that I'm going to cook or make something or talk about food that I'm inspired by this game. Kind of Roblox. No, probably not. Not much into the whole Roblox thing. Um, so, for this game, the game that I chose for this week was going to be a Mortician's Tale, partially to, Halloween is coming up, thinking of themes of like, spookiness and what is one of the scariest things to us as people is death and dying. And I've been dealing a little bit with loss over the past couple of months. Had a friend of the family pass away, and it was um, you know, pretty sad. But I've just been thinking on that and seeing a little bit about this game, which was about, uh, you know, being a mortician, trying to deal with death and dying, and try to make that whole concept less scary was interesting to me. And it's only about an hour and 15 minutes long, so I thought that would be good for a first stream. Uh, you can play this Free Storms movie with the Panda Kid. Maybe I can. That would be fun. Um, so I had planned on making a bread called pan de muerto. Woo! Um, and the point of that is, it's a bread that is made for the dead. Is the bread of the dead. It is put on ofrendas for Day of the Dead in Mexican culture, but it's also to celebrate life and it's to feed the dead and feed the spirit. And I did make this plan before I saw the travesty that was the Great British Bakeoff Mexican episode, and it is not good. Uh, so I had hoped to bring you something that was a little bit more authentic and honoring of that culture, and I have failed miserably. And so, I'm not being one to walk away from my failures. I wanted to kind of go and show you what I ended up with, even if it is not what I wanted. So bread of the dead is supposed to be a enriched dough bread, kind of like challah bread or other ones that are full of butter and sugar and goodness. And the recipe that I used was one that was put on a blog by an actual chef. Now, the biggest problem I had is when I put it together with the ingredients on the blog, the bread did not rise. It did nothing. It stayed a big hockey puck of dough, even though I gave it an overnight time to rise. And looking at it now, and one of those things I should have known, but I was taking this expert opinion at the time and kind of once again not questioning it the way that I should have, uh, with the knowledge base that I have, there was way too much sugar in the bread. And if you don't know about bread and chemistry, if you put too much sugar in a yeasted bread, it will actually like suck all the moisture out of the yeast and make it so that the bread doesn't rise. And this recipe, now that when I really thought about it, and when I wasn't going on autopilot with measuring, this recipe was something like one third sugar, and that is way too much sugar in any kind of yeasted bread. Uh, so I did end up baking it because I'm like, why not? And I did get the basic look of it right. Like if I wasn't owning up to my failures, you'd probably think that this wasn't so bad. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it through the microphone, but probably not. When you hit it on the bottom, you can tell that it's really, really solid. And these are supposed to be light and airy and bread-like for dipping in Mexican hot chocolate and other festivities leading up to Day of the Dead. Um, to kind of see what it looks like in a cross section, uh, as you can see, it is once again very, very solid. Oh gosh, I wish I could give you this actually, because even though it didn't turn out the way that I wanted, it turned out really good. It tastes excellent. It ended up tasting kind of like a big cookie scone. Yes, it is a headstone. Definitely, I probably could chuck this at Wayne, and he would feel it. So he and I tried it earlier today. I was going to try it on camera, but I was a little afraid that it would end up being a bit of a disaster and I would hurt my teeth. And I didn't need that to be my first real stream. So I tried it and it ends up being like kind of like a crumbly scone. So the orange is there, the star anise is there. It is a lovely kind of crumbly cookie texture, but it is a cookie. It is not a bread. But still, at least I quasi knew what I was doing. Unlike the Great British Bakeoff. Has anyone seen the episode beside me in the chat here? Just curious. Um, because if you have not, it's it's a thing to watch, and it's a thing to watch with knowing that you're not going to see anything good or a real attempt at trying Mexican pastry. So you can't stack a tres leches cake. That's my big spoiler of the episode. If you try to stack a tres leche cake and it's done correctly, it should fall apart. Just like if you make a correctly made bread of the dead, it shouldn't be a hockey puck. Uh, so, in anticipation of some potential other uh, technical difficulties, I might start getting myself set up to do Mortician's Tale because it might take me a moment to work out any sound issues, and I apologize in advance. Um, are there any questions about the the cookie bread or anything like that? Any I can make recommendations even if I cannot apparently properly do it myself. I wish I had something better to show you. Uh, one second, I'm gonna need to move some stuff around. All right, so I'll be looking at multiple screens now. That is a really good question. Scaling down is really hard. Um, Scaling up is much easier because all you do is multiply the recipe, and you would think that scaling down would just be doing fractions of the recipe, but it can be a little bit more complicated than that because big commercial recipes like that can be tweaked to take a lot of larger amounts into account. Like maybe you can get away with a little bit more sugar in a big commercial recipe that's meant to create enough for uh, an actual shop, which is not something maybe you can do when you're scaling it down for, a small group of people. If you're only making, this one made 8 buns. Yes, 8 buns. And that was actually my biggest hint when I was going over the recipe and trying to figure out why, even though I had a great starter, the yeast didn't rise. Um, when I looked in the recipe, there were clues that it should have made something more like 24 buns. So that was like, oh, maybe someone scaled it down and then scaled it down again, which becomes an issue. And that was a mistake on my part. I had also found a recipe that was made by a home cook, and it actually looked really, really well. And looking at it afterwards, the ratios were perfect. I just put my faith in this, like I said, a professional chef. I was like, well, let's see what a professional does and what they come up with. And it was clearly a professional chef that had put together a scaled down recipe from their kitchen and left the sugar not properly scaled. All right, so I'm going to switch over to my gameplay capture and we're going to see what happens. Nope, that's not capturing the right thing at all. Uh, okay, are we seeing everything appropriately? We've got a Mortician's Tale going. I've got my Twitch Studio overlay going. This is my first time using this particular layering. So you'll have to give me a moment if I get a little bit lost. That bread is fantastic. Um, you're able to hear the music? Because there is music going right now. It's really lovely music, so I'm really hoping that you can hear it. Okay, there's no music. Let us see what's going on in this. Technical difficulties. Game capture. That's funny because I was able to get the sound out of the PS5 very easily, and now I'm having an issue with a on-screen capture here. Okay, so let's save that. What are we going here? What are my audio mixes here? Uh, let's add some audio. Can we hear it now? There should be music playing. Still no sound? Ah, why am I not able? Stream audio sources. That's not doing the sound. That's not doing the sound. Is that doing the sound? Can we hear it now? Maybe? Maybe perhaps? Are we hearing music? I'm getting little bars saying that maybe some music's happening. You hear the spookies. Yay! It should be like a very, very chill music. Cool. But back to naan bread real quick. Yeah, naan bread is both wonderful and it tastes good and it's not terribly difficult to do. You got a pizza stone, you can make some good naan bread real quick. It's very quiet. I don't think it's meant to be very loud at the moment, but we can always check the levels. Hold on. That is probably because I was given feedback last week that the game was too loud, but that was, okay, so it's a little bit better? Because I had been given some feedback last week when I was playing Tetris that I was not being well heard over the music, so I turned that down, but then again, Tetris has... The point of Tetris Connected is to listen to the music to some degree. Alright, so I think we're right at the point where I wanted to look into starting the game. So once again, I'm just going to give a little bit of intro to it. And I very briefly considered turning on the red bracket. You absolutely, let me tell you, man, like, I get mad when I go to Indian restaurants and I order like the naan basket and there's like 2 pieces of bread in there. I'm like, please give me like all the naan bread, all of it. So back to the game. I almost put on the mature content warning, not because of the fact that I plan on swearing or anything like that. In fact, I think this will be a very maybe at most PG-13 game. But it does deal with themes of death, dying. There are cartoony dead bodies on the screen. So if that is upsetting in any way, shape, or form, I don't blame anyone for dipping out. But it said the game should take about an hour-ish to play. And if there are any things that involve making decisions, I may go ahead and poll my viewers, though I am very much lawful good in all of my gaming. I cannot bring it within me to choose the evil option on something unless it is hilarious, and it needs to be a particular level of hilarious, which I don't think a game about being a funeral director is going to be. So let's start a new game. Okay. Alright, just getting a feel for some movement here. This is going to be a real chill time. My channel is not going to be a lot about skill gaming. It is very much going to be about chill gaming. Things that we can play and have a conversation with most of the time. Even Tetris last week was too much. The blocks, they got too fast. Okay, and I will narrate to you as I pull up things that require reading. Hello and welcome to our new funeral director, from Matthew Jeffrey to Charlie. Welcome, Charlie. Nice to meet you. My name's Matthew, and I'm mainly going to be the man who delivers the body to you and helps with some of the more heavy lifting. Ever hear the joke about a hearse driver? I'll tell it to you when I come in a bit. Look forward to working together. I think you'll enjoy working here. Amy is a sweetheart, but she runs a tight ship. Nothing you can't handle, I'm sure. She wouldn't have hired you otherwise. Cheers and good luck, Matthew J., Funeral Director, Rose and Daughters Funeral Home. From Amy Rose to Rose and Daughters staff. Hello, everyone. I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce our new funeral director, Charlotte, or Charlie, as she's told me she likes to be referred to. Charlie is a recent graduate who came highly recommended and is eager to begin her career with us here at Rose and Daughters Funeral Homes. Character voices, see, now the music's too loud. All right, let me bring the music down for a second. Mixing technology. I'm going to hit that sweet spot. Character voices required. I'll start with the next one. Hello, everybody. I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce our new funeral director. We did all that. Charlie is a recent graduate who came highly recommended and is eager to begin her career here with us at Rose and Daughters Funeral Home. Please take the time to make Charlie feel at home within our little family. We'll have a nice catered lunch this afternoon so we can all get to know each other a little better as well. Sincerely, Amy Rose, founder and director, Rose and Daughters Funeral Home. All right, so lovely. From Amy Rose to Charlie. Let me see. She's got the glasses and everything. I feel like she's British. I'm going to go with British. Hello, Charlie. Well, you're new here, so it's probably best I explain where everything is. In your office preparation room, you'll find your cremation station, cremulator station, embalming station, and obviously, since you're reading this email, your desk and computer area. I know you have experience working with these stations, but please let me know if you have any questions. Best, Amy Rose, founder and director, Rose and Daughters Funeral Home. Okay. Good luck, you beautiful and smart babe, you. From Jen Love to Charlie. I guess my subject lines should start being more professional now that we are business professionals. I can't wait to get your reply so I can see your fancy new email signature. I love that you were able to land this gig straight out of graduating. It sounds super cool. Yes, it's Jennifer Love Hewitt now. I didn't even know Mom and Pop funeral homes were a thing until now. I guess it's just not something I really think about much. I should look more into this, learn more about your world and industry, because as I said, you are now a very serious professional. Speaking of being a professional, my museum gig is amazing. I can't believe somebody paid me to move to London, not London, Ontario. Serial killer capital of Canada. Oh my gosh, it's Canada Thanksgiving. Dissing on Canada. To work in a museum. Take that, everyone who said I couldn't get a job with an art history degree. I'll tell you more about it when we Skype. My stories require you to see my face and that you hear my excellent British accent impersonation. I also signed you up for a funeral monthly newsletter. Consider it your graduation gift. I love you. I'm super proud of you gift. Love you, love you, love you, love you. Jen L. Hart. Let's see, today's tasks. From Amy Rose to Charlie. Hope you've settled in so far. Matthew should have dropped off your first body for you to work on. He said you were really friendly, and he's glad to have someone young and lively to work with. You'll get used to his sense of humor. Your first body is Mrs. Garcia, an elderly woman who died suddenly of a heart attack. The family has asked for a closed casket funeral, so no embalming or body preparation is necessary. The family seems a little bit more united than previous families we've dealt with. Strange how grief affects people differently. Perhaps having more time to say goodbye makes things a bit easier, if that is possible. That being said, although you will not be embalming Mrs. Garcia, I do think it is important to take the time to clean her body. No one is going to see her body, but I like to encourage my funeral directors to do this out of respect for the deceased and their loved ones. You'll find Mrs. Garcia in the prep room. Talk soon. Amy Rose, founder and director, Rose and Daughters Funeral Home. Let's see. Okay, so I think on some of these I'm going to scroll down first so we can actually read them in the appropriate order, since they've done the oldest to newest thing. But we're going to keep going backwards on this one. From Amy Rose to Mia Garcia. Dear Mia, of course we will happily oblige your request for no embalming and for a closed casket. I will ensure our funeral director receives your request. Take care. Signature line. Special request for my mother's funeral. I am not going to attempt to do a Spanish accent or Latina accent because that is probably my worst one, and I will quickly slide into Speedy Gonzalez territory. And no, just no. Dear Amy, we're happy to be with Rose and Daughters for my mother's funeral. We understand that there are usually procedures that must be followed in these situations, but if you could kindly not embalm my mother, it would greatly be appreciated, and we will proceed with a closed casket for the service. I know that she wouldn't have wanted her death to have any negative impact on the environment. She fought so hard to beat her heart disease and to live healthily. It would be a shame to have her final moments be counter to the way she lives. Thank you for everything you can do to help us in this matter. Best, Mia. I'm going to go ahead and reply with that auto response. Sure thing, get right to it. Oh, I missed that last one, so I'm going to go back. I'm going to look at funeral etiquette. Yeah, I learned. I learned. Let us not be unfortunately racist. Oh my gosh, the ponchos. So I am going to take a little bit of a moment here. I think enough people on this. Oh my gosh, it might be. I think she is. She's a Trekkie. Ah, that's so cool. Okay, now I feel a little bit more connected to this funeral director. So just kind of like talking about this for a minute, because I think most of the people who are currently on the stream know that both my husband and I our fathers have passed, and this is kind of the stuff you do. You send special requests. You make these decisions. In the case of my father-in-law, the decision was once again not to, much like this, not to embalm him. For some very practical reasons, and there wasn't a public showing. There was a very private ceremony. A very private viewing, and then a public memorial later on, because that is what worked for him. Whereas my father, we did the open casket. We made sure that he was dressed in a way that he would have wanted to be dressed in life. Most people put the deceased in suits. Well, we didn't do that because my dad wasn't a suit guy. He hated suits. So we put him in a blazer and one of his favorite Green Lantern t-shirts, because that's how he would have wanted to leave this life and have the people remember him. So yeah, I can already tell this is going to be a little bit of an emotional journey through this story. Small tear. So we're going to take a quick look at Funerals Monthly. Let's see what good old Jen Love Hewitt, because that's who she is now, has signed us up for. From Funerals Monthly to subscriber. Oh, a little skull in the thing there. All right, they know what they're doing. Thanks for subscribing. Each month we bring you a new newsletter featuring a topic pertaining to the death industry. This month is all about good etiquette for attending a funeral. Funeral? Jesus, what did I just say? Funeral. I really can't believe we have to write this one out, but since we said we'll answer your most popular questions, here we are, because this is definitely one of the most popular questions. Funerals are a hard time, and we understand that. But here are some quick and easy rules to remember for being respectful at a funeral. Generally, the following guidelines of don't be a jerk should work. Yeah, that's a life guideline. Number 1, don't be on your cell phone. We understand you're busy. But this is a time and place to disengage. If you have to be on your cell phone, don't do it inside of the funeral home. 2. Don't be loud and obnoxious. You can share happy stories, but other people are also grieving and working through their own healing process. Being quiet gives other people space they might need. 3. Don't get drunk. Everyone can deal with their feelings in their own ways. Just remember to be respectful with the grieving family and friends. Okay, so this is etiquette for the people who are in the funeral home, because God knows you can't tell somebody not to get drunk at a family funeral. Sometimes you just need to work through some stuff. Number 5, give condolences. It's not easy knowing what to say to someone, but even a simple "I'm thinking of you" can go a long way. Unsubscribe. Wayne will absolutely want people to be appropriately Irish drunk in his funeral. 6. Dress appropriately. What this looks like will change based on the customs of the deceased and their culture, but always dress in a way that shows respect to the deceased and their grieving families. As we know, black tends to be the go-to, but when my friend Natalie's mom passed, there was a specific request for bright colors because she was a woman who loved colors and wouldn't want to be depressing. So, those are always things to pay attention to. Number 8, give a gift or sign the registration book. This can be flowers or a nice card, but it's the thought that counts here. Sometimes this can even just be cooking dinner for the grieving family. Anything that shows you care and want to help them through the healing process is what matters here. Be kind and helpful. That doesn't sound like a funeral director thing. That's a little bit weird. Oh, we have another thing here. Cool. So let's learn a little bit about Rose and Daughter's funeral home. This is a big reading one. Let's see. Rose and Daughter's funeral home was founded... Sorry, I have to do this in Amelia Rose's voice. Rose and Daughter's funeral home was founded by my grandparents back in 1956. The Rose family has proudly served the area since then, providing personal, affordable services for all. I'm holding up. Why are we holding up? Holding up. Affordable funerals. Oh, I hadn't even looked at the prices yet. This is, yes, actually quite reasonable. Funerals are very expensive. If you have never, if you've been, if you've, me in the trash. You feel like the prices here are cheaper, or do you feel as though no? That's I probably should change the lag on this stream. Let me see if I can do that real quick. I think I have the standard latency on, which is probably not what I want. Dashboard. Nope. Settings, stream quality, resolution, encoder, advanced. I do not have a stream delay on. Stream setting. Yeah, I'm not doing anything that's terribly... So I have changed this over to low latency. It didn't say that I had to reset to start to change the latency. So hopefully it's a little bit better now. Yeah, I really should have realized that I'm doing more chatting than some streamers do, so low latency is probably a little bit better for the content that I'm doing. Games prices seem cheaper. You can get these kind of prices. 5, 4, 3, 2. You leave me hanging. 2? What's happening? Okay, well 10 seconds is not that bad. I think it was much more pronounced before. But I'll make sure that I can do the least latency on the next stream, unless let me see. I think we're okay. But yeah, to answer the question, you can. I guess it depends on where you are and how fancy you want to get on funeral costs. I want to say I honestly don't remember what my father's funeral prices were, but I want to say that that's about right. Bury when casted with reception. I mean, even a direct cremation, all inclusive for $600 is too much for some people. So, and cremation is generally less expensive. We had an open casket and cremation, so I guess I could always ask my mother, but that's a bit of a morbid conversation. Okay, so let's close out of the email and see what we've got going here. So, other than moving around, let's take a really good look at this area. So, she wasn't here before. That's Mrs. Garcia. It's clearly the cremation area. These are some urns. All right. So let's see what's going on with Miss Garcia. As we said, we're not going to be doing too much. I think this is probably a nice little intro into the whole funeral director life. Okay, so this is a prep room where you will prepare bodies for burials and viewings. Vanessa! Because the family has requested a closed casket ceremony with no embalming, you are just going to clean the body. Click on the sponge and drag over the body to clean it. Ooh, squishy noises. Okay, I'm just getting rid of all the little things that look like little clouds and stuff. It's very moist. Maybe I should have put the mature filter thing on. That's it! You're done. Mrs. Garcia will be sent to Mike. We'll take care of dressing and putting her in the casket. Alright. Follow the arrow to head to the funeral parlor. Yep, that was a squishy sound. Oh, look, I am now in appropriate funeral garb. I feel like she looks weirdly like me. I don't know. Like, I would make a sprite that looks a little bit like her, which is a little disconcerting. Okay, so we've got the funeral parlor here, obviously. We've got some snacks, which is nice. You know what? It might have been built in like a similar engine. I heard the family specifically said no embalm. Excuse me, I need to get my manly voice on here. Yeah, I heard the family specifically said no embalming. I thought it was mandatory, like required by law, but I guess not. Maybe I should cosplay like Wednesday Addams. I'm probably a little too brown for it. So I guess not. Embalming wears me out. Do those chemicals leach into the ground? Seems strange to be using a chemical that is known to cause cancer and putting it in the ground like that. Or into the sewer. That's what they must do with the leftover formaldehyde, right? Just pour it down the drain? At least embalming guarantees you won't be buried alive. Oh, God. Stop it. Don't make me laugh right now. Is this one of those things where... Yeah, okay, so it's always the same thing? Alright. Sorry, I'm one of those RPGers who absolutely like overclicks on things. So I just need to make sure that it's only one conversation. She would have hated these paintings. She was so particular. Yeah, at least she doesn't have to see them, I guess. That's... yeah, I guess. Oh no, there's a child. This is very kid. Mommy, I'm hungry. When can we go? Oh, I hate wearing pantyhose. My legs are so itchy, but it's always so cold in these funeral homes. I think I might actually miss those sweaters she used to knit for me now. Aw, very sweet. We usually don't small talk a lot at these things. At least that was what I was always taught. I guess that's me paying respect. I bow at it again. Okay. Do I leave? Okay. I mean, that was pretty straightforward and, you know, not too heartbreaking. I was not able to visit the snack table. Trust me, that was like the first thing I hovered over was, can I snacks? I was a funeral director and there was a snack table. Like, I'm grabbing something to go back to my office. You know it. I know it. Okay, so, let's see. So we're gonna do this right order this time. I'm so frustrated right now! From Jennifer Valentine. Why is she in Gen L? If she's Gen V. I don't know. To Charlie. Can I rant for a second? I am so tired of hearing strangers, colleagues, anybody, male colleagues, get on my case for wearing corsets. I wear them under my blazer and over a nice blouse, so it's not like I'm dressing inappropriately, even though dress codes are such sexist BS anyway. And like, I hate how their misogyny gets veiled in faux concern. Jen, I'm worried you're damaging your body. You know what corsets do to livers, right? Corsets don't do anything to livers. They definitely aren't hurting as much as your condensation is hurting my head. Yeah. Headcanon accepted, Vanessa. Sorry, I'm all out of sorts right now. I'll send you another email in a little bit when I've cooled off a bit. Jen L. Hart, Museum Curator, London Pathology Museum. Pathology, interesting. Bree, I'm so frustrated right now. Okay, let me explain this in a little bit more detail. A colleague and I were discussing tight laces liver specimen that we have here at the museum. It's from a woman who died in 1907, and the liver is tapered inwards from what the doctor leading the autopsy believed was too tight lacing on the corset. It's fascinating because it's kind of a controversial topic. Tight lacing was super popular, and while people associated with it with fainting spells or hysteria, it's actually been associated with visceromatosis. I'm learning something, which is when organs fall to the lower part of the abdomen, right? Which is super unsettling, but can also be caused by being pregnant. So, TLDR, of course, it's probably messed up some bones. Likely didn't do this kind of internal organ damage. I'm tired of the condensation about my wardrobe. That also implies I don't know what I'm doing. These are the kind of things I specifically research, and yet I am treated like I know nothing about. I'm having a day, Charlie. Jen L. Let's skip the one that requires action. From Mia Garcia to Amy Rose. So it was probably the mom. Yep, the mom and the little kid that was there. Okay. Dear Amy, please pass our deepest thanks to you and your staff. Please pass along our deepest thanks to you and your staff for the wonderful job they did with our mother's funeral. It was really lovely. Our family so rarely gets together. It was nice seeing everyone come out for such a beautiful service. My son never gets to see his family. Also, it was incredibly kind of you to let us bring our own food in. Man, I could have gotten some homemade stuff. Shit. Getting to share home-cooked meals, sharing stories, being there together, it meant a lot. So what I'm saying is it was nice for everyone to be there like that, together in that way. I know how much of that was due to the work of your staff, especially your funeral director. Thank you for making this difficult time easier for all of us. Best, Mia. From Amy Rose to Charlie, just passing this message along. Thanks for all the hard work, Charlie. Okay, here comes Matthew. Alright. Hey there, Charlie. I was driving around the other day. Yeah, he's from Jersey now. I was driving around the other day, taking our clients on their last trips around town, and I was thinking, strange, I know. Did I ever tell you the first time I went to a funeral? I was a teenager, about to start university, and a friend of mine was killed in a car accident. Totally out of the blue. Real tragic stuff. Messed me and my friends up real good. But so, the big day, we all got into our best suits and dresses and packed ourselves into a few cars. There were a lot of us, so we had at least 3 different cars full of us. Like clown cars, you know? While we're in the procession, going to the cemetery, somebody in a car got a phone call from a friend in a different car. Turns out some asshat driver who doesn't know not to get in the way of procession drove through the intersection and smashed straight into our friend's car. Nobody was hurt, thank God. Can you imagine getting that call? Anyway, one of my friends is in the same car as me. The one who got the phone call hung up and started laughing, just laughing her ass off in that way that makes you not sure if they're really just crying or if they've gone fully off the deep end. And she laughed, and then we all just started giggling because, like, go figure, life's so messed up, you know? Sometimes, you know? There's no moral, no point to that story, I guess. I just remember that story and wanted to tell you. Because we all work with death all the time, and I still sometimes get caught off guard by what that actually means. Oh, before you get any ideas, this has nothing to do with why I became a funeral director. That decision totally came later. That decision came later. And there's nothing unremarkable. Somebody asked to do it, and I have a strong stomach, so why not? See you in a bit, Charlie. Matthew J., funeral director. Funerals monthly. What to wear when you're attending a funeral from a different culture? Okay, this is actually kind of an interesting question. What do you wear to a funeral from a different culture? We all know everyone wants to be respectful at funerals. Don't talk too loudly, be kind, smile, and refrain from making inappropriate jokes. At least around the grieving family. Hey, sometimes people do need a little bit of a pick-me-up during such hard times. Who are we to judge? A big part of that is knowing what to wear. Roman Catholic funerals tend to lean towards a more formal black attire rule, and it works for us. It's true from experience. Did you know this goes back to the days of the Roman Empire when people wore black as a symbol for mourning? Black isn't universally the symbol for mourning, though. And if you're attending a funeral that is from a culture that is not your own, it is important to understand this. Some colors have different meanings, and despite your best intentions, the wrong choice can mean an accidental offense. For example, in Hinduism and Chinese cultures, white is a typical color for the funeral. For Islam, it's less about the color you're wearing and more about how modestly you're dressed. Refrain from any elaborate jewelry, be respectful of your behavior. For Sikh funerals, color isn't as important as dressing modestly and being able to sit cross-legged. Actually, being respectful is just the #1 rule for any funeral, no matter what, really. Remember that, and please don't hesitate to ask what is and isn't appropriate to wear. If you're attending to support a friend, family member, or partner, this day is not about you. So be sure to do what you can to be as respectful and supportive as possible, even if that means not wearing what you're used to wearing at a funeral, or even if it just means asking how you can appropriately show your respects. Yeah, pretty decent advice. Alright, so let's see what our next job is. I'm gonna guess that all of them are not going to be as tame and straightforward. Hi, Charlie. You know the instructions. Okay, so I'm not doing that. Get the instructions for your next body. You did a remarkable job on the first one. The family was very happy with you. No small feat, of course. Pleasing a grieving family is isn't exactly the most comfortable of jobs. Your next job is a man named Mr. Duval. An elderly man, died of old age, nothing fancy, just a standard funeral with embalming. You can reach out to his daughter, Lizzie Duval, if you have any questions. She's handling her father's passing as well as can be expected. As always, don't hesitate to ask me any questions. Signature line. Yes, Charlie dear, please remember to wear proper embalming gear. Formaldehyde is extremely dangerous. I know I don't need to tell you, but my maternal instincts are hard to ignore. I promise I won't mother you too much. Well, just a little. Ask Matthew, he knows. Alright, I'll get right on it. Let me just double check and make sure that that roses and daughter thing, does that always stay the same? Yeah, okay. Okay, so, ooh, I'm in my embalming gear. I didn't need to put anything on or anything like that. Anything else I can mess with? Alright. So let's do some stuff with another dead body. Oh, that sounded wrong. Sorry. Traditional berries typically require embalming, which preserves the body and prevents it from decomposing as quickly. Unless the family requests otherwise, all traditional burials will use embalming. Let's start by cleaning the body. Oh, it's squishy time. Sorry, everyone, it's squishy. It's morbid and squishy. Alright, so now I'm going to shave him, I guess? Ooh, okay. This is I was told that this might become a lot at some point. In order to break rigor mortis, you have to massage the body. Click and drag over the body to massage it. Okay, so we're breaking rigor mortis. I mean, this is kind of one of the... I don't know. I have no idea why I had to shave his chest. I mean, I understand shaving his face. Why the chest? But yeah, so we went ahead and broke rigor mortis, and, you know, I'm told that this game very realistically portrays what happens and, you know, demystifies some of what happens when a funeral director has to deal with this stuff. The eyeballs deflate once they start decomposing. Click and drag an eye cap onto each socket to give it shape. Well, that's fun. Okay, so this is how they make sure that your things... I mean, somebody's got to bury the bodies, right? Death is part of life, and, you know... So one of the things that this game is described as death positive, which is a weird term because, like, it can easily be interpreted to mean, oh, hello, new follower, Mrs. Wise Clown. I assume that is Bianca. When you say death positive, some people can take that to in a very negative. Like I said, pro suicide, which is not. This is a game about dealing with the reality of death. Oh God, I don't need to watch the real thing, honey. Apparently it is. All right. So we've got. Wait, who is the torchbearer? I assume that you're one of the many friends I begged to be on my stream. But thank you for being here, even if you're a total random stranger. All right. To keep the eyes shut, you'll need to glue them. Click and drag the glue. Oh God! All right, yeah. I mean, we know that we have to glue the eyes shut, right? I mean, imagine if the eyes just popped open. Okay. The mouth sags and hollows once the body starts decomposing. Click and drag a cotton ball onto the mouth to give it shape. Why does a cotton ball give it shape? I'm confused. Oh, I have to sew their mouth. Right, yeah. The first one was definitely way more just make it the squishy sounds on the body. Okay, so you put it in and you put it out. I put the lotion on its skin. Alright. Embalming is removing blood. So many squishy sounds. Removing the blood and replacing it with preserving chemicals. Click and drag the scalpel. By the way, I don't blame anyone who decides to nope out. I mean, like, this is clearly, like, very, they said, the weirdest looking Roblox game. But... Ooh, so squishy! You need a tube! Oh, I put the squishy tube in. Click on the cannula and drag it into the... Is that it? What is... Onto the carotid artery. Is that where it belongs? Now connect the embalming machine. Grab some additional... I don't know why it went squishy when I picked it up. Aw, thank you. Why? Why is it squishy tubing? Oh no, why is the tubing so squishy? Grab some additional tubing and drag it. That's what I did. Where does it go? Oh, why? Okay. Oh my god. Please stop squishing. In order to evenly distribute the chemicals, you'll have to massage them through the body. Alright. We're massaging dead bodies again. Oh god! Hey! These noises, man. I guess this is just to make me realize that this is gonna take a while. Okay, now let's sew up that incision. Okay, thank God. Okay, this is less squishy sound. Oh god, I have to drain the organs of what? Due to drain the organs of any remaining fluids, click on the trocar. Here we go, folks. Squish? Okay, that was less squishy sounding than I thought it was going to be. That wasn't quite so moist. And you're done. Mike will take care of Mr. Duval's makeup as well as dressing and putting him in his casket. Time to attend the funeral. I wonder if I'm going to have to do the whole dressing thing at some point. That seems like the less horrifying part. Alright, I'm going to all Wednesday out of my way in there. Let's see if this family has drama. Well, the snack table looks significantly less enticing. Or maybe it's just that big guy's fat, big head in front of it. No, I want calamari. Thanks. Alright, so let's talk to... Came out of nowhere. I mean, it always sort of does, doesn't it? Yeah, 1 minute you're laughing, having fun, and the next, poof, that person is gone. Just like that. Gone. Yeah, it's weird to think about it too long. Like, staring at the sun, I start to feel fuzzy when I think about it. It's so weird how our bodies just stop working like that. Yeah. Oh my god, like, what I'm appreciating so far is how, like, realistic these conversations are. Like, you have these super, like, weird, mundane conversations where you just start talking and start saying weird things, and everybody just kind of understands that you're saying a weird thing at a funeral. That's just interesting. So strange not seeing most people wearing white. White? Yeah, I think it's different for different family members. I can't remember. I haven't gone to many traditional funerals, so mostly white. But, like, definitely not red, no matter what. Maybe I missed the part where this man is Asian. Did I miss a last name? I must have missed a last name somewhere. Or I wasn't, yeah. He always wanted to take his grandkids to the park, play catch. He loved playing catch. Threw a mean curveball, that's for sure. Right? I mean, this one's pretty sweet too. Humming to himself, he is a kid on a tablet. How delightfully mundane. And paying my respects. Okay, up, and that's when the arrow lights up again. Right, so far everything has been fairly chill. We've got a green bottle here, that's new. Let's see who our new person is. Ooh, we got some DAI stuff in here. So let's once again start here. We'll work our way back up to the actionable item. That's Duval, so I didn't catch that was an Asian, like either a Chinese or Japanese funeral, but it could have been that the man who passed was. From this Duval to Amy Rose. Hi, Amy. Thank you for the wonderful evening you and your staff put together for my father's funeral. He wasn't always an easy man to get along with, but I'm glad you have seen him off in such a kind way. Thank you. Passing on this lovely thank you note. Here's my girl Jen, back again. Charlie, I was doing some reading. I know you hate it when I try to give you dating advice, but hear me out. There's a dating site that is specifically for people working in the death industry. Okay, so maybe I'm a little worried for you. You haven't mentioned anybody new since the breakup of 2014 that we will never speak of again after this moment. You're always saying how tired you get of people being scared to ask you about your day. So maybe meeting somebody in the industry isn't the worst idea. Just promise me you'll consider it, okay? It's harder for me to make sure you're seeing sunlight when I'm all the way across the ocean. I know you look like a babe with pale skin and witchy goth aesthetic and super hot right now. But vitamin D is still a good thing. Mom ran over. I'm going to try it out because it turns out people get super scared when you tell them you work in a museum filled with dead bodies. Do you know how not interesting other people find trichomonas? Charlie, I didn't know we were this weird. To outside people, I have been spoiled by having a best friend who is as much of a weirdo as I am. Miss you. Grab a bottle of wine for our next Skype date. Yes, if you sign up for Dead Meat, isn't that the best name for a death industry dating website? Tinder rules apply. You have to like me if you come across my profile or whatever. I'm not sure how it works yet, though. Jen L. Oh. Paycheck coming late. Sorry. I was going to say maybe she is British, but I think there's evidence that this is actually a Canadian game, so that is why it's spelled that way. Blame Canada. Hey, Matthew. This is embarrassing, but it seems I miscalculated some of our income, and I don't have enough to pay you this week. Would it be terribly inconvenient if I cut you a check for next week instead? Hello! Uh, if you need the money urgently, please let me know. I feel terrible about the whole thing. And I can cut you a check from my personal account if need be. I'm so sorry about this. I assure you it won't happen again. Take care. Okay. From Matthew Jeffrey to Charlie. I don't like the look of this, not one bit. I know you've only been with us for a few months, but maybe you're aware of the trouble Amy's been having. Small mom and pop shop like Rose and Daughters can't compete with the bigger guys. Anyway, don't tell Amy I sent you this. Also, I'm starving, so I'm gonna go grab some fast food before taking the hearse to the car wash. 2 birds, 1 stone. And swinging back to the home. Do you need anything? A beef and cheddar? He's going to Arby's. They've got the meats. I'm going to take the hearse through the drive-thru, of course. It freaks people out. They get so awkward. Let me know. I'm heading out in 15 minutes. Let me take a look here. What's the question? I need to play this game, then I need to figure out how to trouble this stuff. So the realization that everyone in these emails might be British. Well, no, just Amy. Just Amy. Said I think they're from Canada, since there was that mention of London, Ontario. So in here, let's have a lovely bit of inclusion from Funeral Monthly. If you've been a long-time subscriber to our email or follow us on social media, you've no doubt heard about the misgendering that transgender people are at times subjected to at their funerals. Alright, I was not expecting this. There have been notable situations where trans women have had their wishes overruled by their families, and have had their hair cut and are buried under the wrong names and subjected to the wrong pronouns in their obituary announcements. We care a lot about this because we believe in treating every person with the same level of compassion, respect, and care. This absolutely extends to pronouns, respecting the deceased's wishes per their lived experiences. The CDC's, now we're back into the US? Where is this funeral home? The CDC's Funeral Director's Handbook on Death Registration and Fetal Death Reporting offers the FROT directive. Enter male or female based on observation. Do not abbreviate or use other symbols. If sex cannot be determined after verification with medical records, inspection of the body or other sources, enter unknown. Do not leave this item blank. Leaving it up to observation, obviously, enters a world of issues since bodies can be so different. Because of the ingrained bias, people can draw incorrect assumptions based on their own inaccurate observations. California has passed what is known as the Respect After Death Act, which states that the death certificate must reflect the deceased gender identity as they lived it. So a step in the right direction. People who are trans deserve the same respect in death that people who are cisgender receive. Misgendering in death takes away this respect. It can also inflict hurt and trauma on spouses and friends that survive the deceased. So what can we do as funeral directors? Listen to the people who come into your office. In America especially, some marriages may not be recognized as legal depending on the laws around same-sex marriage. But this does not mean you're not dealing with two people who have loved each other in the same way as another couple. Listen, learn, and always be respectful. While you have to work with the next of kin, your duty is to ensure that the deceased receives the utmost respect in their burials. The funeral is to honor the deceased. If a funeral is to honor the deceased, then do that. Honor them. That was really lovely and really unexpected. This game, I believe, also came out in 2017, so I think that was after the decision that legalized same-sex marriage throughout all the states, but the game could have been in development before then. So Okay, so we've got another standard cremation. Today's funeral is for a woman who died of breast cancer. With a fancy to the standard cremation, please don't hesitate to ask me if you have any questions. Okay, I'm on it. So, I want to go back to the one question that we had about are those prices accurate? And I think that's really interesting because now we're talking about a funeral home that seems to be having some financial trouble. So maybe those prices should be higher. I don't know. I mean, that's the whole point, is that she tries a bit too much to be affordable. All right, so we're not dressing the body, so hopefully less squishy this time. This looks like we might be doing a cremation. Yep, we're doing a cremation, so let's see how this works. And so they're trying not to be too repetitive on what it is we're doing here. So before we cremate Miss Hall, we need to prepare her body. Mrs. Hall's family brought clothing and jewelry for her to wear. It's important to remove these before the cremation process as to not to damage them. Let's start by removing Mrs. Hall's necklace. We need to be able to identify Mrs. Hall's remains after she's been cremated. Click and drag the round identification tag and put it in the coffin. So... Look. We cannot steal from the deceased. Very frowned upon. Alright, so great. Mrs. Hall's all set to be cremated now. Does anyone here remember, like, when there was some level of, like, scandals of funeral homes just, like, not cremating the right people or giving people the wrong ashes? Like, I remember this specifically simply because my friend's mom considered on, like, doing, like, a funeral auditing service. Where like she provided like a third-party service to make sure that the right ashes were being given to the right people. But yeah, the business did not take off because then you have to have a funeral home that's willing to say that they might screw up giving you your loved one's ashes, which is not great. Anyway, Mrs. Hall is set to be cremated now. Great! Exclamation point. Very cheery. Okay, so is there anything else I need to do? I feel like I missed something about her needing to be cremated. So, like, what's my character's arms? Nope. It's a great time of year for a people bonfire. I hear we smell like bacon. Okay. So that was fairly not painful. Now we have the urn. Oh goodness, what's happening now? This is the cremulator. Contrary to popular belief, cremation doesn't turn the bodies to ash, as so much bone fragments. Oh, this is where we get fun. This is what I get for saying that wasn't too painful. Using the cremulator will break the bone fragments down into ash-like remains. Let's start by placing the urn in the cremulator. Click on the urn and grab it to the under the cremulator knot. For a moment, I'm like, why am I burning the urn? Sometimes I'm not smart. Click and drag the bone fragments and drop them in the top of the cremulator. People basket! Whee! Can I throw it? 3 points. Now all the bones have been processed, so I'm not putting the jewelry in the cremulator. That makes sense. Make sure Mrs. Hall's necklace is put back in the urn. I guess you do. Like, unless they ask for the jewelry back, you just put it in there. Oh my god, yes. Let us identify her. Let us seal this urn. All done. Amy will take the urn to the funeral parlor and present it alongside some flowers. Okay, so we don't need Mike or whomever or Matt or do it this time. I think she always has a hot, steamy cup of coffee right there. More snacks. I can't sign the guest book. I really wish I could. Let's see what these friends are saying. This is nice in a weird way. She'd like that we were all here talking. She always tried to keep the family together. Food is delicious. I know it's weird, but these crab cakes are perfect. Oh, that's me at a funeral. You know that I'm judging the funeral banquet. I swear to God, if you all are at my funeral, you better, like, make sure there's some good-ass food there. I will be judging you from the afterlife if there is one, if there's, like, just junk. Glad she was cremated and not, like, in an open casket or something. Seeing her like that, I don't know if I could have. At least we all got to say goodbye. She would have liked that. She fought really hard. She's proud of herself. She never gave up once. She would have hated this music. She never wanted her funeral to be sad. She would have wanted us smiling. She said so. Like, I understand that they kind of want this to be like a game that's respectful of death, but I feel like if we don't get like a drama one soon, we are not getting a true funeral experience. Like, some bitches are really messy. Oh, we're on February 14th is Valentine's Day, isn't it? We're doing a funeral on Valentine's Day? Tales from the Oh, so we've got something new here? Oh my god, is this Minecraft? I mean, not Minecraft. Minesweeper? This is totally Minesweeper. Ha! No. Don't worry, I'm going to play at least one round of Minesweeper before we keep going. This is like funeral Minesweeper. Right, so let's do let's start with funerals monthly. Keep protecting Earth with green barrels. Oh, this thing is woke as fuck. Trekkie coffee. Also steaming hot. Oh, we're gonna get to the Dramarama email. Don't worry. But let's have our moment with the woke environment and our green burials. You've lived your life mindful of the environment, doing your part to reduce pollution and generally help out where you can. So why not continue doing that even after death? At least that's the thinking for a lot of people who are turning to green or natural burials. Natural cemeteries are becoming more popular and are focused on a few rules. Mainly, it's that bodies aren't allowed to be embalmed with chemicals that can damage the environment, and that bodies must be buried in a biodegradable shroud or casket. Not only is this better for the environment, it is also cheaper. At Union Cemetery in Ontario, Canada, a natural burial is just over $1,000. So better for the people, the environment, just maybe not so good for big business. Let's not forget, people, this is still a business after all. But really, why go green? Green burials help preserve natural resources, work to reduce carbon emissions, protect the health of those preparing bodies, and preserve natural habitats. Embalming fluids tend to contain formaldehyde, and funeral directors report a higher incidence of leukemia. Going green and not using toxic chemicals for embalming helps protect funeral directors, while at the same time lessening the impact we have on the environment when we're gone. We here at Funeral Monthlies think green burials are pretty cool. What do you think? Reply and let us know. Let's see what's up from Jen. Charlie, I have been playing a new game when things are slow at work. It is called the Tales from the Crypt Sweeper. Get it? Get it? It's like Minesweeper, but way harder. Like seriously, it's really, really difficult. I thought my Minesweeper game was on point after working that overnight front desk job at the hotel for 3 years, but I must have gotten rusty. Anyway, instead of mines, you want to avoid graves so you don't disturb the adorable ghosts. The main character also kind of looks like you. What is happening? Okay, I don't know. Did she get married and divorced in the time that I've known her? Why would she not have mentioned that? I want to start a healthy competition. High score gets to pick the restaurant we go to next time we're in town. Okay, from Ryan Garcia. I was another Garcia. Oh, it is the same Garcia family. Okay, so here. Hi, Amy. Oh, it's the little boy. I know this email might be a bit odd, but you said if I was ever having trouble, I should reach out. You would know somebody I could talk to about all of this. I don't know what to do. I know my grandmother had lived a full good life and was very happy, and that she's not in any pain now, but I still feel empty. Amy, I've never felt this empty before. What am I supposed to do now? I thought I was stronger than this. Can you refer me to someone to talk to? I don't want to freak out my mom right now. She's dealing with enough with work and the will and trying to just be the best mom she can. I just need somebody to tell me it'll be okay. Thank you, and I'm sorry for being an inconvenience. Oh, what a sweet little boy. My heart. I'm sad. From Amy Rose. I thought I would forward this to you. In situations like this, we typically connect people like Ryan with a grief counselor or other professionals who can really help him. Sometimes we get emails like this when people don't know where else to turn. It's difficult, and family isn't always the most reliable for some people. Normally, I'd be happy to connect him, but I'm feeling a little tired today, not my usual self, and it'd be good for you to start building these kinds of relationships on your own. You're a treasure, Charlie. Let's see. From Margarita Hall to Amy Rose. Hi, Amy. I'm so eternally grateful that you were able to accommodate our request for my sister's funeral. It was a beautiful service, and she would have been happy with it. That's such a weird thing to say, isn't it? Thank you again, from the bottom of my heart. Charlie, I thought you'd like to see this thank you note. As I'm dealing with a child asking you for grief counseling is it's a lot. Whoa! So no, we've got some level of drama. News about the future of Rose and Daughter's funeral home. Hi all. It was a heavy heart, but I write to let you all know that Rose and Daughters will no longer be in business. I had no idea how to start this email, and resources I googled told me that would be best and easiest way to break the ice. Be direct but remorseful, Google said. The truth is, I don't really know what to say. Since my father passed away, I've done my best to make Rose and Daughters warm and friendly to anyone who chose to use our services. It was my memorial to him, the original Rose, in a lot of ways. And you've all become like family, including you, Charlie, our most recent addition. It's been getting harder and harder to make ends meet. Rent is going up in the neighborhood, and I'm finding less and less like I have the energy for this business. There's a lot of competition from other funeral homes. Larger corporations than we are can take on more businesses and offer more impressive services. You know the way it goes. So we've been bought, or sold. Either way soon, Hillsdale Heritage Enterprises, Inc., a company that owns many funeral homes in the city and across the country, will replace Rose and Daughters starting from the beginning of next month. Same building, same name. They're keeping the name Rose and Daughters Funeral Home for tax purposes, though honestly I'm trying hard not to see it as a move on their part to keep up the image that it's a family-run business. I don't know how I feel about that. But I also don't know if there's anything I can do at this point either. I've signed the papers. At least my father's legacy is intact somewhat. They have a good reputation, and they've agreed to keep you all on. It was one of my stipulations. I would sell as long as you all weren't without a job. Sorry I couldn't tell you in a more personal way. I would have loved to have a company lunch, but admittedly I don't have the heart to tell you in person. This was easier for me, please understand. Sincerely, Amy Rose. So, here was my request for drama. Just not the drama I was expecting. Dang. Before I move on, shall we take a look at this? Oh no, I don't understand this version of Minesweeper. Ah, it's a ghost! Okay. I think I get it. I think I get it. I'm only gonna try this once, guys. I promise I'm not gonna make you sit here while I play weird-ass Minesweeper. I'm just curious. I think these were all saying that it's ringed. Ah! Alright. Sorry about that. I just had to give it a try. Excuse me. Ah! The one with the spooky, ooky ghosts. From Marina Reyes to Amy Rose. Hi, Amy. You asked if there was any special instructions we wanted to pass along. Just please cremate my father. He has a pacemaker too. The doctor told me that would need to be removed. Oh, we're gonna have to do something squishy. Hi, Charlie. Please note below about the pacemaker. They can be tricky. Sounds good. I'll take care of it. Mr. Ray is directly from the hospital, so we don't have to worry about removing any valuables from him. The family do not provide any for us to include. Okay. However, Mr. Ray still has a pacemaker we will need to remove before cremation. Because pacemakers are batteries that will explode in the hot heat of the cremation machine, and we definitely don't want that. Don't we, though? Do we want? Kind of would want to see it. Move the scalpel over to make the incision. Okay, that's a scalpel noise. Is this going to be squishy? Oh, it's squishy. It's a squishy one. You can see the pacemaker. Forceps. Squishy. Squishy. Coffin tag. All set to be cremated. Boom. Hit that button. Yeah. Look, I want to say that having her screw up and have an exploding pacemaker would have been very exciting. That's one of those evil decisions I'd be cool with. Right, isn't it? Nope. Come on. Them bones, them dry bones. I'm way too cheery about this, aren't I? Nope. There we go. There we go. He doesn't have as fancy of an urn as the other lady. Let's see if there's any drama here, because the family didn't give us anything for him. They do have a cupcake free though. I don't know how can you love someone? Can you not love someone and still give them a cupcake tree? I don't know. I feel like that's an act of love. Ooh, there's family drama here. So you ever end up clearing the air with your father? No, we talked a few times, but not really. He sounded like a difficult man. He was stubborn, that's just it. Stubborn. What do you want to do after this? That's pretty nice out. Let's change and go find a patio somewhere. Sounds good. I could really use a beer right now. That is also me at a funeral. Hey, did I ever tell you about the time we tailgated? Oh, that's a very sad sentiment. I wonder if he ever liked me. He was nice to me, but I don't know. He never seemed like he really cared if I was there or not. Oh, I'm sorry, lady. I always told him to quit smoking, but of course he never listened to me. So that figures. And now we do our little bow. So it is not a leap year. Washing my hands. Is this the new business owners? Yeah, so. Oh, Amy, I wanted to thank you for the service the other month, and I apologize if I was abrupt. It was kind of a shock to me. I didn't feel comfortable with the whole process. He wasn't supposed to die yet. It hasn't been easy. Thought I'd pass this along to you. Let's go to things to avoid saying at a funeral. Welcome back. Now, we rarely do listicles here, but for this month's newsletter, we thought a listicle would be the best way to deliver this month's advice. What not to say at a funeral. You know that figuring out the right thing to say to a grieving friend can be extremely difficult, and since it's such a personal issue, it's hard to give specific advice. Some things will be more comforting to other people, but fortunately, we can deliver a little bit more solid advice on what not to say to someone who's grieving. So here it is, Funeral Monthly's top 5 things to not say at a funeral. Number 1, at least they're no longer suffering. Oh my god, yes. Even if this is true, nobody wants to hear it. And it's probably not your place to dictate. Who wants to be told that the death of somebody they love is for the best? Like I said, even if it's true, don't be that jerk and don't say it. Were they saved? No religious statements! Oh my god, yes. Just don't. Why? Because not everyone agrees with your religious views, and not only is not always comforting, it can be It can also be insulting. That was very grammatically strange. 3. They're with the angels now. See above, rinse, repeat. Let me know how I can help. This one is tricky. You want to help, but those in mourning won't always ask for help. If you want to help, suggest a specific thing. For example, I'm free if you need someone to babysit the kids. Actions are better than passive statements. Cook something for them. Take them to their favorite restaurant or buy tickets to the movies together. I know how you feel. Even if you think you do, everyone grieves differently. Do not focus this on yourself. Empathy doesn't involve having to commiserate. Sometimes people will want to hear your experiences, but don't assume they will. Ask first. For a quicker version of this list that can be applied in any situation, don't say stuff for the sake of saying stuff. Just say, I'm sorry, if you don't know what else to say. No, that is absolutely a terrible thing. You do not want to point out that the morgue has or funerals get the 5th free card. Okay, from Jen Love. She's Jen Love again. Charlie. You hate mushrooms so much. I found the perfect thing for you. I've been thinking about death. I know, shocker. Look at what you've done to me. I think I want this mushroom suit. No, it's not called that, but I can't remember the name of it. I'm writing to you on my phone, so I don't feel like Googling right now. Anyway, the idea is that it's a biodegradable suit that the deceased wears. It's made out of what people call a biomatrix. You see? Yes. Biomix i.e. mushrooms and other microorganisms to help people decompose bodies, neutralize toxins in the body, and provide nutrients for the soil for plants. I think this one company even offers casket liners to use for green caskets. I think this is what I want. It'll be just like Hannibal. Wait, don't people I said that? Okay. Yeah, I would do a biomatrix back to the earth suit. Why the hell not? But seriously, it's pretty cool. I love all the death innovation that's happening. We might as well do something when we're in the ground, you know? Love you, think about it, and let me know your thoughts. I want all of your thoughts. Not this, then maybe I'll have my ashes made into jewelry, but seriously, I'm probably gonna do this. There's no harm in playing ahead, am I right? Uh, I want to be cremated into a diamond and then handed to my son to pass along to the generations. Delicious. Okay, so we're gonna do this, and then I'm probably gonna do a quick poll. Charlie, I was hoping you wouldn't have to confront the situation yet. Yet, anyways, they're never easy. Rose and Daughters has been asked to prepare the body of a young man who took his own life. We all prepared and asked for cremation, but the family has demanded a traditional burial instead. Excuse me. Unfortunately, he didn't make anyone his power of attorney or didn't have any witnesses to sign his living will or his advance directive regarding these wishes. So his family is legally in the right to do whatever they want with his body. It's unfortunate, but you have to do as his family wishes. Matthews graciously offered to take this on if you're uncomfortable with the subject. Instead, for a second body, you can prepare for a funeral we are hosting later this afternoon. Charlie, is the suicide something you're comfortable with dealing with? Let me know if I'm here if you need me. So suicide, of course, is a very sensitive topic. I know that I only have 6 people on this stream, so if anyone feels really strongly that they don't want to do a suicide-based body preparation, I am willing to do it. But or if you want to nope out, or if there's any strong feelings one way or the other, I'm going to give everyone a moment to weigh in. I'm going to go off screen for a moment and grab a glass of water because I am very thirsty. I've been talking way more than I thought I was going to, even though this is, yeah. So I will be back. Right, so since it doesn't seem as though anyone is like, nope, I'm really uncomfortable, let's go ahead. Let's say we're comfortable with this. Hold on 1 second. Minor technical snafu. Please give me a moment. Not having anyone as power of attorney, but the deceased family has asked for an open casket funeral. Let's start by cleaning the body. Alright, so we've gotten squishy again. Yeah, it's weird that you would have any kind of directive, like that people would know, but then still ask for an open casket funeral. I don't understand the legalities of that, but... Do this real quick. We're gonna insert some eye cap. Glue in the eyes. Cotton in the mouth. Like it's like I'm an expert at this already. Lotion on the skin. Neck incision. Draining. Kind of, oh god, it's so squishy. Why can I not find the right spot for the squish? There we go. Ah. Machine on. Oh my god, that's right. I gotta keep massaging. I gotta keep touching the dead body. So much massaging. I think this is really interesting that, at least to this point, even with the suicide thrown in, they're not really addressing that as part of this process. Like, he doesn't look like someone who should be having an open casket. Let's put it that way. I was expecting that to potentially be one of the reasons they were letting you nope out of this one. And maybe that's kind of the point, is that for some people a dead body is a dead body. Why is it? There we go. Alright, Mike. Alright, so that was shockingly unpainful, based on the setup and the subject matter. This one has another cupcake thing. Let's see what the reaction of the family is. Quiet sobs. I wish we were closer. Why, I still can't believe this was real, my baby brother. I should have played more games with him when he asked. I can't believe he did it. I feel like I should have known, you know, being able to do something to stop it. There was no way to know. You can't blame yourself. You wouldn't have wanted that. I know. Just, it hurts. Yeah, I know. I heard it wasn't going to be open casket. I'm surprised it's public. Usually funerals for these circumstances are more private. Right, well, like I said, that was almost surprisingly not dramatic. Yeah, that would have been a nice feature, especially since they made the point of making this a more traumatic circumstance. Probably a little missed opportunity here. Okay, oh no, the guy's name is Chad? We're pleased to bring on Rose and Daughters as part of Hillsdale's Heritage Enterprises, Inc. They will be another institution amongst hundreds of other properties owned across the country. But of course, as part of the adjustment process, the Hillsdale Heritage Enterprises, Inc. culture, there will be a number of changes that will come to Rose and Daughters. We'll send out the memo regarding the specifics and details of these changes, and we expect them to be followed impeccably. Glad to be leading the way for Rose and Daughters from now on. Chad. Let's see what Matthew thinks. Can I just say, first off, this is bullcrap. Knowing how these corporations run, I won't be surprised if they're monitoring our emails now. No, okay. Okay, I don't really believe that. I'm just upset. Yet Amy didn't have much of a choice. You can only fight a huge corporation taking all your business for so long, and this isn't 6 feet under. And they just swooped in, and now we all have to deal with their BS practices. They're colder than the corpse I picked up from the morgue this morning. Who charges this much for funerals? I feel dirty and exploitative. Exploitative. Exploitative? No, exploitative. Let's grab a drink after work. I need to blow off some steam, and emails aren't really the most appropriate place to do this. Too late for me, I guess. P.S. If you're reading this, Hillsdale Overlord, good. You tell him, Matthew Jeffrey. You get your beef and cheddar, and you tell them. Alright, so let's see what they're charging for funerals. Oh, prices on request. Now you know that they're a bunch of jerks. Plate payment plans available. You're invited to attend a death cafe. What? Jen, stop signing me up for things. Come increase awareness of death with a view to help people make the most of their finite lives. Join now, have a tea and cake, and talk with others about thoughts, fears, and illuminations on death. The founder of the Death Cafe movement, John Underwood, once said, when people talk about death and dying, it tends to illustrate their humanity. See everyone at the Upside Down Jar next Thursday. Death Cafe. Can't really write much right now. I have a lot of work I have to do with an inguinal hernia from 1750. It's the oldest in our collection. You can even see these bits of paper the surgeon put in after removing the hernia. Super cool. I'll send you the link. We have a catalog. What's my life? What is that sentence I just typed? Anyway, this event I'm forwarding to you is taking place near you. I figured you'd be into it. Might help with the feeling of restlessness you were talking about before. Here we get to talk about some things you're feeling. Lots of death positive people there. Sounds like it'll be a safe space. Different funeral traditions. What time is it? Okay, no, I'm still doing okay. Funeral rites, even in our own culture, may be something many of us may be unfamiliar with. For most people, all they know of funeral traditions are what they've seen in media. But I think this goes without saying. Funeral rites and traditions aren't the same across the board. Different cultures have different protocols for cleaning the body, to different aspects of the service itself. Religion provides different paths for dealing with the death, but the goal is almost always the same: offer support, guidance, and ease the people who are grieving. In Judaism, interment usually begins immediately after someone has passed. Upon burial, the body is never supposed to be alone, so families will often appoint a shomer, a guardian, to remain with the body. Preparations for burial will begin as soon as possible in Muslim traditions as well. Local Islamic community organizations are also often involved and help the family make arrangements for the funeral service and burial. But not all practices are strictly religiously focused. The aughts in South Korea, in the aughts, I guess that means the early 2000s, in South Korea, the amount of graveyard space began to shrink drastically, causing a law to be passed that required families who removed a loved one's body from its burial place after 60 years. Many families began to cremate more often, but there are also companies that compress remains into beads in turquoise, pink, or black called death beads. These also occur in North America, Europe, and Japan, but the remains much more common in South Korea because of the space used in graveyards and the expenses of cremation. And not all practices are somber either. Ever hear of the burning of the bones or Vamadihana? Nope. A ritual by the Malagasy people of Madagascar. They're gonna make me say it again. Vamadihana has families return to the ancestral crypt, exhume the bodies wrapped in cloth before dancing with the bodies to lively music. Nope! This practice is a celebration of remembrance, a way of keeping the deceased involved in family news. Death can be difficult time for many people. But that doesn't mean that there isn't a beauty in the way we choose to honor and celebrate our deceased. Chad! Thank you, Mr. Grant, for agreeing to take care of Jocelyn's cremation. The bike accident was more than I was expecting. I know she would want to be cremated. I know she wanted to be cremated, to be honest. I don't think I could bear seeing her like that after what happened. Charlotte? Oh. Fucking Chad. Below are the details for our next client. Ensure you follow the requested specification exactly. After you're done, I will review your work in order to properly evaluate you at the end of the month. Gross. I'll get right on it. Ugh, Chad. Charlie, you need to quit. Put it on the tray. Put in the coffin. Ready for cremation. Hit the button. What do you think the odds are that Chad's gonna find a reason to, like, dock my pay at the end of the month or say that I was unsatisfactory in some way? Fucking Chad. Bones in. Bones. I don't know why that one bone looks like a banana. We have, but I guess it's supposed to be a rib bone. I don't know why I thought of it as a banana bone. Maybe I'm hungry. So, Chad definitely went into that urn and stole the watch. Fucking Chad. Should we do a vigil at the spot? Careless drivers, I swear to God. She was hit by someone. I'm glad I'm here. Wow, I need a glass of wine and to binge watch something right now. Man, some things so universal, man. I have to go through all of her things. How am I supposed to decide what to keep? If you need help, I can help. No, thanks. But no. I don't know. It's so intimate. It feels like I should do it myself. She would kill me if others saw the things we have. Yeah, she was kind of a closed book, except to you. Yeah, she was special. She was always so careful. Wore a helmet, signals, used bike lanes. Asshole drivers, they need to pay attention. Have you heard what's happening to the driver? No, I haven't. No, I haven't wanted to ask Leia. It's been hard enough on all of them without asking about the legal ramifications of all this. Yeah, after all this, let's see what we can do to help them. Shouldn't have to deal with the death of their partner all by themselves. Ah, explicitly a queer relationship there. I'm so glad it was cremation. I would have lost it seeing her body. Pay my respects. Chad's definitely gonna have a problem with my coffee cup eventually. Chad, you have a long email. Hello, as stated in previous emails, here are the new rules and code of conduct I expect you to follow from now on any premises belonging to Hillsdale Heritage Enterprises, Inc. First and foremost, there is required uniform and strict dress code from now on. Second, most importantly, to this is that no tattoos be visible. If you have a visible tattoo, ensure they are properly covered and hidden. When speaking with customers and clients, consider the opportunity to upsell, you dick. Absolute dick, Chad. I always encourage the deceased loved ones to purchase the higher quality package. I find that encouraging loved ones to think of the comfort and style of the deceased as an experience with no price limit on it. Chad. Additionally, food is no longer allowed to be brought in. Instead, encourage the deceased loved ones to purchase our premium sandwich and appetizer food package. Our partners in Catering Concepts provides high-quality food that will be delivered weekly from their factory and can easily be defrosted the morning of the funeral. I expect all of the above changes to be instituted effective immediately to ensure a smooth transition to the high-quality services Hillsdale Heritage Enterprises, Inc. is known for. Charlie, I need a drink. Beer after work? P.S. I also want mozzarella sticks. I can be both hungry and angry. And no, I will not say hangry. Ever. God, Vanessa... These people are clearly the worst. Home funerals. Why do it? The appeal of a home funeral is apparent for many, especially if the deceased was somebody very close to you. The idea of keeping them at home until they are ready to be buried or cremated can be comforting. It wasn't that long ago that we were taking care of our own deceased, but nowadays people are quick. No, it's fine. You're not a Chad. In fact, the moment he said mozzarella, no, that was Matthew. It's totally okay. It's totally okay for Matthew. Matthew's cool. Matthew's my Jersey boy. Wasn't that long that we were taking care of our own deceased, but nowadays people are quick to pass off their loved ones to a funeral home. Most families aren't given the option and assume this is mandatory. Funeral homes will almost always prepare the deceased using embalming and other methods to make them appear more alive. But isn't that process counterintuitive to the grieving process? Being around the deceased allows the bereaved to spend a longer period of time with their loved ones' bodies, which can help them mourn and give them an opportunity for family members to see the deceased loved ones one last time before they are taken to be buried or cremated. The idea of keeping the deceased body at home may sound gross, but it is important to understand that decomposition takes a long time. And further slow this process by keeping your home cool and dry. To be around your loved ones and see them decay naturally is an important part of the grieving process. I love you, Vanessa. Home funerals aren't just more intimate, but they are economical. A traditional funeral, complete with body preparation, service, flowers, cards, and many other hidden costs and fees, costs upwards of $7,000 to $10,000. When you're able to take care of your loved one yourself, to wash and dress them, and be able to organize their viewing from home, the only cost remaining is entirely the cremation or burial itself. However, it is important to understand that different rules apply given on what state you live in. In all states, it is legal to have your loved one's body at home after they die. States like Alabama, Connecticut, Illinois, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, Nebraska, New Jersey, and New York require funeral directors' involvement, from signing the death certificate to overseeing the burial and cremation. So what I'm hearing is that in Florida, I can just feed him to an alligator. That's what we're hearing, right? It's Florida, there ain't no fucking rules. If this route is the route you decide to go for yourself or your loved one, make sure you follow everything in the book. Just know that this may be an option available to you if your loved ones, if you choose. I would like to have a green burial. Just throw me in a swamp and let the alligators have me. Ah, Chad. Hello, Charlotte. I have reviewed your request on behalf of potential family inquiring if we at Hillsdale Heritage Enterprises, Inc. can and will perform green burials. I should have informed you this from the beginning, but we do not perform green funerals as they are not cost-effective. All employees and subsidiaries of Hillsdale Heritage Enterprises, Inc. Oh my god, just call them Hillsdale! Must comply. We do not wish to lose potential customers, though, so try your hardest to convince these families requesting green burials to instead choose a traditional burial package, complete with embalming, casket, and vaults. Instead, I trust you will ensure we do not lose any customers. Charlotte. Fucking Chad. Chad, you guys. Latest contract acquisition in the city. Charlotte, I am proud to announce that Hillsdale Heritage Enterprises, Inc. received a contract with the city to dispose of any unclaimed bodies. This is an important revenue stream for us, and I'm sure I don't need to explain this to you, Charlotte. Although Hillsdale Heritage and... Oh, I fucking hate him. It's being paid a decent wage from the city for these services. Cremation is preferred here, as that is the most cost-effective of the two options. First unclaimed body will be belongs to a middle-aged man, possibly homeless, whose body has yet to be claimed. No special preparations are needed from this cadaver aside from cremation. I'll take care of it. Ugh. It actually looks like the body prep process is getting smoother and smoother. He doesn't have any valuables on him. Yeah. Just throw the tag in, because he's all set to be cremated. I hope I eventually get the opportunity to tell Chad to go fuck himself. Okay, cremulator. Oop. Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, there's gonna be no one at this man's funeral. Or there'll be one very sad person. No. I'm the only one there to pay my respects. Matthew, why aren't you there paying your respects? You disappoint me, Matthew. Probably eating a beef and cheddar. Well, that was the saddest of funerals. What terrible thing do you think Chad is gonna say or do now? He's gonna tell me that my coffee isn't regulation? Oh my god, he's so corporate speak. We're thrilled to announce that Hillsdale Heritage Enterprises Inc. subsidiaries Rose and Daughters has just signed a contract with Morning Valley Hospital, allowing us to access all of the cadavers that come through their pediatric and maternity wards. Oh god! We're excited for the opportunity to work with Morning Valley Hospital, which intakes over 100,000 patients and receives over $15 million in fundings and donations annually. This will no doubt be a boon for Hillsdale Heritage Enterprises' bright and sustained future. What is registered a business? Is this is this a sign that I'm thinking of doing my own? Am I losing Matthew? Charlie. It's official. Yeah, it is going to get dark. It's official. I put in my 2 weeks' notice. You know how unhappy I am working for Mega Corporation 101. My skills, especially my driving ones, are useful in other professions. I'm not worried about myself. But you I'm worried about. You're too good for this corporate scum. I should care about people you work with and for. Don't let me defeat you, okay? P.S. I'll bring beers over next week. We can talk a bit more freely. Jen left. Dating a special effects makeup artist, and she is like the coolest person I've ever met in my life. She totally loves Ava's possession and was equally freaked out by the possession scene, but so utterly delighted at the idea of a support group for people who have been possessed. It was your best recommendation in a while, Charlie. You were slipping there. I was getting worried that you had lost your taste. But yeah, her name is Lily, and she's super death positive and isn't freaked out by my work. And also isn't too into it like the last dude I saw, Jason, Michael, I don't remember. I just really like spending time around with her. I can talk about whatever I want, and it's not a conversation stopper. She also totally gets what I mean when I say, like, working with death and spending so much time thinking about death actually makes me happier. It makes everything feel so much more worth it. Memento mori, or whatever they taught us in that one poetry class we got. Ooh. I'll have to send some recommendations. We just clicked. Feels good. Not recommendations, but the place or the address. Words. I feel like there's probably a lot of those places out in LA. Vanessa, you lucky bitch. We clicked. Feels good. Fun and affirming, like dating should be. I'm thinking of taking her to Maple Meadows. She's super into roller coasters, and I think the idea of sharing cotton candy, or maybe not, I don't want to throw up on the rides, is sickeningly cute. Then maybe I'll kiss her on top of a Ferris wheel. It'll be super corny and cliche for once in my life. Anywho, enough about me for now. I'm still kind of in shock from your last email. Do you think you're going to do it? You know you have my support no matter what you decide. She's going to start her own funeral home, my girl there. Water everywhere, not a drop to drink. Water cremation. This is not something I've heard of before. We can call it a few things, like flameless creation, a bit of an oxymoron, but we'll let it slide, or perhaps more commonly, resumation. It's a technical name, though. Its technical name, though, is actually alkaline hydrolysis. Whatever we want to call it, here's an environmentally friendly alternative to traditional cremation. But for the sake of this newsletter, let's call it water cremation. We all know that the traditional cremation and burials take a huge toll on the environment, the high energy consumption that adds to the greenhouse gases effect being chief among them. And water cremation is the alternative method through the eco-conscious among us. How does it work? It's basically a water-based chemical process that uses a really strong alkali in water heated up very high, about 350 degrees Fahrenheit. It basically works like a sped-up version of natural decomposition. The excess water gets put through the same water treatment process as the sewage water at a factory, and alkaline hydrolysis uses significantly less energy than traditional cremation process. Neat, huh? It's been around for a bit, and some places became legal around the end of the first decade of the aughts. Not a bad alternative for those who don't want their death to have a greater impact on the environment than necessary. Ugh, fucking Chad. I have a feeling this one's gonna make me mad. It's me. Regarding the last time we spoke, my daughters and I would still prefer to host a home funeral ourselves and keep my wife here until she's ready to be buried. I just want to make sure she's taken care of. Her heart attack was so sudden, I don't know what to do. I just want to make sure she has a proper send-off. I understand your desire to keep your wife at home, but I assure you that the best way to honor your wife is through a traditional funeral package instead. Oh, fuck this guy. I promise you your wife's funeral with us will be a beautiful, intimate gathering where all beloved friends and family can come together and say their goodbyes. A standard embalming will allow for everyone to view your wife, ensuring that everyone can see her one last time as she was, beautiful, peaceful, and courageous. Letting us take care of food with a prepared food service will ensure you don't have a single thing to worry about on this day. You and your daughters are going through a tough time right now. Let us here at Rose and Daughters make this difficult time a little easier on you. Fucking Chad. Okay, we'll take the traditional funeral package. Thank you for considering us in this hard time. Charlotte. So you were not able to convince the Dimka family to take a standard funeral. I had to contact them myself in order to not lose the sale. Please read the enclosed emails for a lesson on how to properly upsell potential customers. I don't want to see that we've lost any customers because of your refusal to upsell. That is part of your job. That's why I'm looking at registering a business. Registering your business, 11 permits. We need artist incorporation. We need registration of business name. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Register my own business. Get rid of Chad. Who needs you, Chad? I gotta take care of this lady. Chad upsold. Isn't that gross, though? Like, I don't know. Trying to sell you more in these kinds of situations. Do this quick. An expert now. Zoop, 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 zoop. I'm pretty sure that giving her moisture over the blanket doesn't help her skin, but okay. Squishy noise. Squishy noise. This thing. Squishy noise. Yeah, squishy noise. Why can't I not do it on the first time? Bombing machine. I'm getting the hang of being a funeral person. I could totally do this. I could not. I could not do this. Not at all. No. I have to massage. 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 So I do like they keep doing this thematically appropriate thing of like whatever the circumstances of the death, preparing the body is always the same. So. Nope, wrong thing. Trocar. Trogdor, whatever the heck this is. Who is Mike? I feel like I haven't been talking to him. I've been talking to him, Matthew. Let's see if the family is upset. I'm starving. Why do these things always make me so hungry? You're always hungry. Why? It's so cold in here. I think they have the air conditioning on too high. Let's go for a walk later. It's really nice out. It'd be good to stretch my legs. This feels so impersonal. She would have hated this. Yeah, but I don't know. They must have had their reasons. Oh, hey, what do you think of that trailer I sent you? Yeah, I've heard the show's so good. I saw that video of that one kid actor doing karaoke. Do you think we did the right thing? I feel bad not doing what Mom asked for. I know, honey. What that Chad guy said seemed right. We don't want to dishonor her memory by letting her rot. Ah! Yeah, I just want Mom to know I loved her. I wish I hadn't yelled at her before. It's okay. She knew you loved her. Fights happen. Please don't be so hard on yourself. Yeah, I'm gonna miss her. Me too. Chad's the worst. Oh, we had a time jump. Is this me starting my own funeral home? Because Chad's the worst? Yes! Charlie dear, I'm so proud of you. I knew there's something special in you and I hired you for Rose and Daughters. If there's anything I can do for you, please do not hesitate to ask. I'm always happy to help. P.S. I sorely miss you and Matthew's terrible sense of humor. Okay. Hey, Charlie, when I first became a hearse driver, I was told that my most important job wasn't steering, it was sympathizing. I respectfully disagree. And thankfully, I concentrated on my driving skills as, since now I am working as wait for it, a bus driver. A school bus driver, Charlie. Can you believe that? Pretty sure if I said the most important part of my job now wasn't steering, I'd be fired immediately. I don't know how else to tell you. For some reason, I was worried to think less of me. I don't know why. You've never been the judgmental kind, and besides, corpses are way easier to deal with than children. Screaming children, I might add. I actually love it. These kids can be pretty cute, but don't tell Amy I told you that. She was always harping on me for not having any kids and being a little cynical about them. And being all cynical about them. Congrats on your new business, Charlie. I'm proud of you. I'll swing by your new place one day and show you my new wheels. Maybe we can grab a bite to eat. Be seeing you, Matthew J. Congratulations on your new business! That's Jen. Charlie, I'm so happy for you. It's been such a rough year for you, seriously. I think our wine intake's a bazillion% increase. But you've stuck through it all like a champ. You deserve this. Finally being your own boss is a great move for you. No more having to explain anything you don't want to. I'm trying not to be too cheesy right now. I cannot wait to be home next week for our visit. And to check out your new space. Yes, have you heard about these green burial pods? When I find the link on my 1 million open tabs, I will send it over to you. See, Magnolia Forest. Let's see, what is my business? Magnolia Forest, named after magnolia trees, surround the funeral home, specializes in at-home funerals and green burials at our natural burial park. Our goal is to empower families and encourage them to have closer relationship with death and the dying process. The death of a loved one can be confusing and sometimes traumatic time. We want you to feel fully involved in your loved one's death care decisions. Whether you're looking to care for your loved ones, the comfort of your home, be it present during their creation, be present during their cremation, or bury them in a natural cemetery, Magnolia Forest is here to work with you and provide these simple but intimate and meaningful options. Natural Burial Park allows them to return to the earth, blah, 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 blah. The most important thing is she still has her Star Trek coffee. She is transparent about her prices. Home funerals are $1,000 all inclusive. Green burials and service are $2,250 for adults all inclusive. Direct cremation is $600 all inclusive. That's a good price. Oh, infants are buried at no charge. We can provide a 3x3 plot and help opening and closing the grave. Yeah, I'm gonna guess that after that thing about the maternity ward, they decided to not go to that dark place, Vanessa. Like I was also really, if there had been an option to skip over the funeral preparation of a baby, that was going to happen because I was not doing that. Eileen Hansen to Charlie. Today's the day already, isn't it? I can't believe how quickly this has come up. Thank you for understanding in your work. You've made today easier already. See you at 1 p.m. I'll see you soon. So what's happening? What am I doing now? This hurts. I thought it'd be easier, but it's not. It hurts so much, but thank you for helping me give her the funeral she always wanted. Anyway, I think we're ready to get started now. That actually ended up, they do a little bit. There's supposed to be, yeah. That was interesting. Taught us a little bit about the death and dying process. Also, I will admit that one of the reasons I chose this game is that the developers are in fact Laundry Bear, and their trademark is a bread panda. So, kind of love that. Felt like that it was a meshing of things. Okay, so they are Canadian. They're Canadian. They were just talking about the U.S., I guess. Yeah, so it's definitely more of a journey than a gamified thing. Reminds me a little bit of playing To the Moon, which was also something that was barely a game, more of an experience. Let's go back to chatting. I'll shut down the game. So, and let me bring this back over to the other screen. So yeah, we're right in the amount of time I wanted to be doing this. So thank you everyone for joining me tonight for my first true stream and hanging out and screaming at Chad because fuck you, Chad. Uh, um, Next week I am going to be doing a game by the same company, but this one is going to be the next one's going to be a little bit more lighthearted. Uh, Also, supposedly playable in one evening from beginning to end. It's called Speed Dating with Ghosts. And the food I will be eating is going to be ghost pepper hot wings. So I will eat those live on camera. You can see my spice tolerance or a lack thereof as it ends up being appropriate. But thank you so much, everyone, for joining me tonight. Um, and I'm sure I will come up with some kind of outro eventually. But it means so much to me that you are all here. And hopefully, I see you next week. Wait a moment for everyone to respond because I'm still on the lag. Hopefully, next week the latency will be better. Love you all.